As a high schooler, I've heard the phrase, history is boring, countless times. But today I hope to interest you by informing you about a pivotal part in world history and a pivotal part in World War II. The year is 1944. Hitler has taken over most of Europe and has brought devastation to civilian and military populations. Today I will be telling you about the preparation, the invasion, and the aftermath of the invasion of Normandy. Hitler's Nazi Germany is on the brink of collapse as Russians are invading from the east and the Western Allies are preparing an invasion from the west. The Allies face a major difficulty as Hitler has built an Atlantic wall that houses thousands of artillery guns, machine gun nests, mines, tank traps, and millions of men to defend it. The wall is led by General Erwin Rommel, who was very successful in defending northern Africa earlier in the war. Preparations began in the spring of 1944 to invade Europe and invade France to defeat Germany. The preparations began by developing a dummy army or inflatable army in northern Great Britain to make the Nazis believe that the Allies would cross at the shortest point on the English Channel and reach Palais de Calais, which was a very major port in the war. So Hitler sent most of his men that were guarding Normandy up to this area and allowed for a much more successful invasion in Normandy. The attack began on the night of June 5th, 1944, when British and American paratroopers landed in France and took out key communication and railroads, which made it very difficult for the Germans to plan their defense and defend against the invasion. The next part of the attack took place on June 6, 1944, when a very large Allied bombardment took place from Allied aircraft carriers, transport ships, and destroyers. This led to a great weakening of the Atlantic Wall. The next phase of the attack was led by British and American bombers when thousands of them went over France and destroyed key targets that were defending their western border. This was led by the American B-17 bomber, which had a 10-passenger crew and could carry 5,000 pounds of bombs, and the British Lancaster bomber, which had a 7-man crew and could also carry around 5,000 pounds of bombs. The final phase of the attack would take place on 5 beachheads. The beachheads were divided between 5 countries, Great Britain, Canada, and the US. The US would invade Utah and Omaha Beach, the British would invade Golden Sword Beach, and Canada would invade Juno Beach. In total, there was around 156,000 Allied troops that stormed the beaches of Normandy. Around 50,000 Allied casualties took place during the battle. The deadliest beach of the battle took place on Omaha Beach. It was invaded by U.S. troops and had 2,500 casualties. High cliffs in the region made it very difficult for U.S. troops to gain ground, and they were pinned down instantly. The Battle of Normandy allowed for Allied troops to enter Europe and allowed millions and millions of supplies, men, tanks, and other weapons to reach Europe and defeat Hitler. It eventually led to the liberation of France and the liberation of Paris. After this, the Allies were able to enter Germany and defeat Hitler's Nazi regime. Today, I have taught you about the preparation, the invasion, and the aftermath of the invasion in Normandy. Thank you.